Sammy Lou here again today in the McCall's kitchen. So excited because I love green. It's like my favorite color. So St. Patty's Day is just around the corner. I had a few messages about that marble technique. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a marble cake. There's marble fondant, but then there's also this awesome trend with marble buttercream. There are a few different ways to apply this technique. I'm going to show you what I consider the easiest way. So we've got an array of things today, guys. Green color is most important. It's St. Patty's Day, of course. So I'm using just one color of green and just pigmented it differently, you know, along the side. So I've got a few different greens going on here. And on the left-hand side here, I have my already stacked, filled, cleanly iced, and chilled cake. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put the cake back in the fridge so that it stays cold. Then I'm gonna come back and show you how to make this beautiful marble technique, okay? So the cake is in the fridge so that it stays cold. Again, make sure your cake is completely chilled. If you guys want to see how to stack and ice a cake, there are other videos. So if you just take a look back a couple weeks, maybe even a month or so ago, you can find some awesome videos on how to stack and cover cakes. But let's just hop right to it. So this marble buttercream, again, we've got a few different colors of green. For this cake in particular today, I used just the leaf green from McCall's. And I just added a few extra drops to get a darker hue, or one drop to get a light, bright kind of green. And then lastly, it's my favorite one. All I did was mix a couple drops of black with the leaf green. And then of course we've got our white. I've got lots of white here and it'll make sense in just a minute as to why I have so much. The most important part of this technique outside of having a chilled cake is a sheet. There are a variety of different sheets that you can use for this technique. You can use Mylar sheet, acetate. I even used parchment paper once. So you can use parchment paper if that's all you have at home. I just find the sturdier it is, the better. So the key when you're doing this is mixing the colors on one spatula. So you're gonna scoop up as you feel. There's no rhyme or reason or rhythm. You'll see as I'm doing it. So first step, take the big bowl of white icing, take your dye, one tiny little drop, lightly mixing your dye into the white, okay? So it looks something like that. Now I'm gonna put that down for a second. My spatula, I'm just gonna go through and grab a few of each of these colors. And this is what I like to do, is I take it and I scrape it on the edge of my bowl. So they're blended slightly. This is the key. When you're doing the marble, don't over blend. You're grabbing and slapping it on your acetate sheet or your parchment paper, or whatever have you. Okay, so you're gonna wanna get a close up on this. So I'm grabbing the veined area and I'm mixing it with the stuff I just picked up and scraped on the edge of my bowl. So we're going to apply kind of like in an upward motion on the cake here, okay? So there's gonna be a lot of negative space. Okay, so we're almost done. I'm just making sure I'm going all the way to the edge. You don't have to when we're talking about the height of your sheet. I mean, if you want a rough edge, that's totally fine. Even if you wanted to leave some gaps, right? Maybe you don't want like a solid. You can totally leave like negative spaces and make it look a little bit rougher. All right, so I'm gonna give myself some elbow room here. Actually, let's put this bowl in front, actually, over here. All right, so once you're happy with your design, let me just take a look at it again. Almost happy, I just wanna make a few little changes. Pushing that all the way down to the bottom so I have a clean line at the bottom, at the base of my cake. And it's okay if you get some on the table, you will, or whatever surface you're using. All right, so I'm happy with how it looks. Now we're gonna scrape some of it off. Again, so important, guys. Do not push into your buttercream. If you push it, you're gonna get this watercolor effect and everything's gonna blend together. You're not gonna get that nice veining. okay? We are scraping. You use your scraper. This is the best tool you can use for this. You're not pushing. You're using the edge of your scraper and scraping buttercream off, okay? The idea is to get a thin edge without pushing that pretty design that you just did. All that hard work. It's really not that hard though, is it? And if you can, try to get it as level as possible. We are gonna push it into our chilled cake, so it should level out decently, but I mean, if you can help it, get it as smooth as possible. Okay, so it looks good, it's decently thin. Sorry, I'm not good with metric, I can't tell you how thick it is. But the one thing I'm going to do at the end, the bottom line, like I said on the base of my cake, I want it as smooth as possible. So I'm just gonna clean this up here. Okay, I think we're good. So now that your cake is chilled, I'm going to clean up this area. I'm gonna bring the cake out, the chilled cake out. Do not put this in the fridge. Don't need to do that, not right now. We're gonna bring the chilled cake out, keep your buttercream at room temperature, and then we're gonna apply it to the cake. Okay, so we have our very chilled cake. Again, I use the same green, just a couple dots to get this kind of like a vibrant green. Splashed it with some McCall's, I think it's antique gold, and mixed with some vodka and just splattered it. Again, the splatters are also chilled, okay? You don't want anything wet on your cake for this part. We've got the acetate sheet or parchment or Mylar, whatever you have at home. And I'm going to take the sheet, apply it to the cake, and keep the sheet on there. If you're using parchment paper, obviously it's not as sturdy and thick as like a Mylar or an acetate sheet. So you can take your cake scraper, I'll just show you, again, being very gentle. If you're using parchment paper, you'll find this helpful. Take your scraper and ever so gently glide it across your parchment paper, because your parchment paper is crinkly, right? It's not solid like this, so you're not gonna get as flat as a surface, it's gonna be crinkly. Like smoothing it out a little bit may help. And again, I'm just doing it very gently across so that you can try to push out some of the crinkles in your parchment if that's what you're using, okay? Just a little tip, because I've tried parchment and I noticed that that was an issue. But yes, it's on there. I'm going to go put this in the freezer because it's quicker in the freezer, okay? So I'm gonna go put this in the freezer, I'll be right back. Okay, so the cake is out of the freezer. We timed it, it's about 17 minutes I left it in there. Again, like I said, it depends on if you put yours in a fridge or freezer or how cold your fridge or freezer is. But I'm gonna show you a way to test if it's ready. So if you just come up close, I'll show you. So if you go to peel your Mylar or acetate or parchment, it should come off quite easily. You are still gonna have a bit of your design, or like a bit of buttercream, sorry, on the actual sheet itself. That's totally fine. What you don't want is for the bulk of your buttercream to come off onto the sheet, just a thin layer, okay? That's how you know it's ready. And it should be like that all the way around. You don't have to be extra like me and have this thing at the top. It's totally up to you, but I like the added height. So there's the marble. I think she looks gorgeous. And if you notice at the bottom, it's such a clean line, right? Because I brought it all the way to the bottom of that Mylar sheet or acetate sheet. Now I am going to, I think, add some gold because I put gold on everything. I have, this one's not loose leaf. This is a gold transfer sheet so it doesn't fall off, see? And it requires just a little bit of pressure to get it onto the cake. I'm going to spin my cake around. I'll show you a little bit in a second, but I'm gonna spin my cake around. I'm just gonna add some little details. Good. I am a happy camper. Ooh, we love gold so much. Okay, I think I'm happy. I'm gonna put the topper on top. Happy say, party say. See, make sure it's centered. Give me a second, guys. Gotta make sure it's centered. So cute. Ooh. I love it. I think every cake is gonna have marble on it. I know I put gold on everything, like everything's gonna be marble now. Okay, so here she stands, guys, in all her green marble glory. I love her so much. I hope you love it as much as I do. I hope you find it helpful. For any of you guys who are wondering how to do this technique, or maybe you have a way that was tougher, I really hope that you found it insightful. Of course, if you try, you know the drill. Hashtag love McCalls. Subscribe on the button below for future videos. We've got lots more coming your way. And if you're not already, don't forget to follow us on McCall's Bakers on Instagram as well. But yes, I hope you enjoyed it. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. And if you decide to try this, please let me know how it goes. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.